Peace, 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 family. What's going on? What's going on? Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Sincere Love the Godcast. We live in the building. Nyctegur, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. I'm doing great. A little bit of running around today. I was just telling you, had my son out driving. He drove to his basketball game. It was his first time actually getting on the highway. He drove around the neighborhood with me a couple of times, but he just got his paperwork last week, like Thursday or Friday. Mm-hmm. Officially got his permit and everything. So when we was on our way out the door, I just passed him the keys. Like, yo, come on, you driving today?
Peace, yeah. Peace.
Say peace.
Look at her, cutie.
Say peace.
Hi.
All right. Watch out.
I need her hair.
Yeah, so I just passed him the keys. Like, what's up? You driving? He was like, looking all nervous. I'm like, hey, we got to do it. You know what I'm saying? He was like, can you back out? Can you back out the driveway for me? I was like, nope. I'm like, nope. So on you. You know what I'm saying? But he did all right. He did pretty good. It had me sweating, heartbeat, and shit. But he did all right. He did his thing. He got us there. We ain't died.
Right. Yeah, the instructor told me that I need to, outside of the 6 hours they have to do in class with the little thing, they told me I got to do 50 hours with him myself and then also drive with him at night.
You say that again? I'm sorry.
I have to do about 50 hours with him myself and then also let him drive at night.
Okay. Yeah. See, that's the next thing. That's the next part. I'm like, oh Lord, it got to be me because my wife ain't gonna do it, so it got to be me. My wife, she is not gonna do it.
I'm the one that's gonna do it too.
Yeah, nighttime. I ain't looking forward to that part. But yeah, man, we here for another great episode of Sincere Love the Godcast, man. We got some interesting topics to cover today.
Oh yeah.
But before we get into that, though, I wanted to explain the title of the show a little bit, because I don't think I ever did that. I mean, I talked about the inspiration and the influence. You know what I'm saying? Because as most of y'all know, Lord Jamar, they got the you know what I mean, Godcast, and me being inspired by Brand New Beings my whole life, being a fan of Brand New Beings my whole life, being raised as a God body, 5% nation, and all that. Of course, you know what I'm saying, I've always looked up to those guys. You know what I'm saying? And so it's kind of biting, but it really was inspired by, you know what I'm saying, the Godcast. I was like, ooh, the Godcast, because I'm already Sincere Love to God. You know what I'm saying? That's my name. Right. Sincere Love to God. So I'm like, okay, I don't want to do a podcast. I want to do a Godcast too. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so definitely it was inspired by that. So I want to give credit where credit is due as far as that. But also, it's named after me, but it's not named after me too. It's kind of like a double entendre. You know what I'm saying? Because what we do is out of sincere love for our community. It's out of the sincere love that we have for Black people. And like I said, it's not a podcast. It's a Godcast. You know what I'm saying? So it's Sincere Love the Godcast. You know what I mean?
God to welcome and goddesses.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? I don't even, well, I do. I use it interchangeably. You know what I'm saying? But even when I'm speaking about the divine feminine, I still refer to it as God. You know what I'm saying? I might say goddess or whatever. I use it interchangeably. But to me, it's no different. You know what I'm saying? We are counterparts. You know what I mean? We're complements of one another. Yeah. And, we the mothers and fathers of civilization. So that's what it is.
Like that's what it is. Vicky Diller say, I'm your mama.
Exactly.
I'm everybody mama.
Exactly.
And you their daddy.
That's where we all came from. You can't never front on that.
Right.
Yeah, never front on that. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of document that, put that out there, man. That's the title of the show. That's what it means. That's the science behind it. You know what I mean? So welcome to Sincere Love the Godcast. Not the Sincere Love the Godcast. It's just sincere love, and this is the Godcast. Not a podcast. It's a Godcast. Right. So rock with us.
As we know you will.
And
y'all so rocking with us for these last 2 weeks, and we appreciate y'all you
Oh
know,
yeah,
for taking time with us because we're still building and you're still engaging with us on and off here. So, you know, kudos to y'all. Shout out, you know, to the viewers. You know, we appreciate y'all.
absolutely. What is this? Episode 3 of
This
our
is episode
Sunday?
3. Mm-hmm.
Episode number
Yeah.
3 of our Sunday show, man.
Yeah.
The response has been great. I'm loving the
Yeah.
feedback I've been getting from y'all. The encouragement that we've been
Right.
getting from y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because we both, nervous about,
It's
doing this
working.
really.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? But it's necessary. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We had to push through that and push past that and you know what I'm saying, come to y'all with this information. Again, like we always say, we're not the master teachers, we're only the master students, and we are the signal boosters for the voices in the new black media. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, and that goes right along with what I wanted to say about today's topic too, because we're going to be discussing the controversial death of former Secretary of State Colin Powell.
Right.
As you all know, Colin Powell has died from complications of the you know what, and that's been a pretty hot topic. But at the same time, it's starting to kind of fall out of the news cycle by now. And that's the thing about a lot of our main topics that we're going to do on this show, because being that we do our show on Sunday, I like to try to have the promotional flyers ready by like Thursday, so we can have a few days to promote the show. And usually, a lot of times, a story is in and out of the news cycle within that amount of time. You know what I'm saying? Something took place on Wednesday and Thursday. Everybody was talking about it. By the time we get to Sunday, ain't too many people really talking about it no more. The news done pushed it through the cycle and all of that. But again, us being the signal boosters for the new black media, we kind of like the cleanup crew on Sundays.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it fell out of the top of the list on the news cycle doesn't mean that it should just completely fall out of our memory. You know what I'm saying? So we here to just, bring that refresher and that reminder of things that are important to the black community. So that's what we do.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
And
And
I
so,
think
of course,
that little Becky got a little bit more coverage than he did, as you know, a long time attorney general of the United States of America. Like it fizzed out to me in just a couple days, to be honest.
Yeah, and I feel like they really pushed this one through the cycle intentionally and went on to the next thing,
I agree.
because they don't want to focus on, the real cause of death. You know what I'm saying? This is like, don't look this way, look over here. Look what's going on over here. Forget about that. Let's talk about Kyrie Irving. They still want to talk about Kyrie. That was 2 weeks ago.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, you got the police department out in Chicago with the fraternal order of police going against Mayor Lightfoot out there with her mandates. And they saying, listen, we ain't doing that. We ain't got to disclose nothing to y'all. They turning in their badges and all that. But you don't hear the mainstream news media berating them and pushing that and talking about how bad that is. They want to focus on.
They're wagging their fingers at NBA players.
Exactly.
You have the likes of Magic Johnson wagging his finger at NBA players, or an NBA player talking about the team. Like, yeah, this is just a game, bro.
And word up, man. Word up. And then the other thing about that too is they really contradicting themselves out here, because there's another player, for those of y'all that's not into sports, named Bradley Beal, and I don't even know who he plays for this year, because I don't even be watching it as much as I used to. I don't even keep up with it, and they be moving these players around so much. But Bradley Beal had a game at the Garden. You know what I'm saying? They was playing against the Knicks at the Garden, and Bradley Beal hasn't got the jab.
But he's allowed to play.
But he played in New York City at Madison Square Garden. Nobody said a word about it.
No one said, nobody's wagging their finger at him.
It's perfectly okay.
Why not?
Make sense, man. Like, y'all doing this thing real sloppy.
It's very, very sloppy. And again, I haven't heard Magic, Stephen A. Hairline, any of those dudes that have the biggest mouths right now talking or wagging their finger at him and telling him what he needs to do for the team.
Because they haven't been sent to do so. They haven't been sanctioned to do so. What's going on, Viewer One? Viewer One, I've been trying to get our sister Viewer One modded up in the chat so that we can have some, some moderation going on in here. I haven't figured out how to do it. You know what I'm saying? But she is our what do you call it? Not surrogate, but whatever the word is I'm looking for. She's already our moderator. She's just not technically modded up yet, but that's our moderator in the chat right there. So everybody salute viewer one in the chat. And of course, early, we got Cuzzo in the building. What's going on, Cuzzo?
Hey, Tamisha.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. They don't want to, focus on it. And if you're referencing Colin Powell, his family, wife, I believe, made the statement first, and then they tried to basically overshadow what it is that she, said in reference to his death. And it's like, well, you weren't there. She said what it was because she's been there, I'm sure, by her husband's side or the family itself by his side this entire time. So how is it that you get to come back and pivot what I said? I already said what I said. You know what I mean? And I felt like that was very disrespectful.
Very disrespectful. Very disrespectful. Like, come on, this man's family was honest about what really took place, and then the media and the politicians, the Democratic politicians, all went into panic mode. They all went into panic mode, and so the family of former Secretary of State Colin Powell, may he rest in peace. Make sure we paying respect. You know what I mean? They came out with this statement. For those of y'all that don't know, most of y'all already know this, but again, we're going to recap the story.
Right.
So they came out. They said,
my little gargles on.
General Colin L. Powell, former U.S. Secretary of State and Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, passed away this morning due to complications from you know what. He was fully, you know what. We want to thank the medical staff at Walter Reed National Medical Center for their caring treatment. We have lost a remarkable and loving husband, father, grandfather, and a great American, the Powell family. That was their official statement on the loss of their family member.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so, again, the media tried to discredit them. You know what I mean? They try to low-key make it seem like, they're misinformed or they're spreading misinformation somehow. Like they don't know what's going on with their own family member. And like you said,
when they're there, just because it doesn't agree with your narrative does not mean that you get to come in and basically call yourself correcting, the family statement. You weren't there.
Indeed. And so, they're trying to focus on the preconditions. And we know he had some issues that he was dealing with, you know what I'm saying? Which may compromise the immune system. Okay, but they keep changing the narrative when it comes to these jabs, because early on they were saying, it's gonna. At first they was pushing it on the elderly and the immunocompromised. They were saying they need to get it first,
and they were.
You know what I'm saying?
Remember how many of those nursing homes were pulling out?
Yes, the nursing homes and the elderly and those who are immunocompromised were the first ones on the list. We got to get them done first. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to prevent hospitalization, so-called. It's supposed to prevent death, so-called. But we keep seeing over and over again different stories popping up. Right after people get these jabs, they're experiencing adverse health issues, and some are even experiencing death, as in the case with Colin Powell.
Right. And my thing is, instead of bringing up the C word, or, the jab or, the disease itself, right? He had a pre-existing condition. They didn't even have to mention that, if you ask me. So why is it that, why isn't it that he just died of cancer? Right?
Yeah.
He passed away, from cancer. Everyone seems to have died, or the death certificate has to somehow reference
what's going on,
and that part is very weird for me.
It's very weird.
What happened to natural causes, other ailments, etc.? Like no one is getting regular sick anymore.
Yeah, I'm not really shocked at Magic, Tamisha, to tell you the truth. Right. I'm not really shocked at Magic. I don't like to just dismiss everybody wholeheartedly. You know what I'm saying? You know, I try to exercise some type of balance. You know what I'm saying? I take the good part of who the person is and the bad part of who the person is. We just know we can't deal with them as far as this war. You know what I'm saying? We can't rely on them as far as this war. We know which side that they're on when it comes to that thing. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean he's a horrible person. That doesn't mean he's a terrible person. At least not in my book. I know a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? In the B1 streets, I know a lot of people is like, man, fuck that nigga. That nigga ain't shit. Blah, blah, blah. Just period. Just period. You know, me, I try to, you know, God is in the nuances. You know what I'm saying? God is in the nuances. And so we all have different sides to us and everything. So I'm not going to just, you know, act like, you know, Magic, you know, never meant anything. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not an icon. He is. You know what I'm saying? But it's disheartening that he uses his influence and his platform in this way. You know, it allows itself to just be a tool for white supremacy.
The system, absolutely. That's where I was going to go with it too. And it just goes to show that, especially when Black men specifically reach a certain level, you know, they find a way to buck break them in a way. And I feel like what Magic did also was a form of buck breaking too, because he was summoned to do that. He was summoned to go out and speak that way about him publicly. You know, so it's like, my thing is, you know, you could have declined. Why didn't you? You know what I'm saying? Just like other, you know, athletes are saying, whatever he wants to do is his body. I support what he wants to do. You could have went that road too. But you, Stephen A was the other one, Charles Barkley, you know, you guys are making it more about the team versus his body, his choice. You know, again, my body, my choice. And it's like, it's no longer my body, my choice when it comes to this thing that the government is pushing. But we have people on both sides, well, really one side, you know, the liberal side pushing, you know, abortion, specifically on our community as well, you know, because you don't see a whole bunch of other groups, you know, screaming and hollering about the right, you know, to abort. And if you do see them, again, it's a bunch of white liberal that are doing it. And we know they don't have our best interest at hand, you know, and I think that it's disrespectful to tell him that you can't play for the team and team, when there's another player that I can't think of his name that you just mentioned, who had adverse reaction to, you know, the stab, you know, and it's out. He's out for the season.
No, yeah, that's somebody else. That's somebody else. I was talking about the dude Bradley Beal, who actually played. Yeah. But the dude that played for the Hawks, I don't remember his name either, but he's actually from this area where I live at. He's originally from this area. But Hawks player, I think we talked about it on the last show. He took the jab, and like you said, started getting blood clots and all type of stuff. And he spoke out about it. You know what I'm saying? He's saying that's what it is. He's saying that they tried to keep him quiet about it, but he like, yo, listen, I was fine.
1,000%. He said 1,000% the stab is what caused X, Y, and Z. He was very specific about that. And again, you know, they shut him up, and I'm sure part of him spoke about it because, you know, I'm pushed to do this thing that I probably had reservations in the first place, but in order to play, and I love the game, this is my job, I went that route, and you guys, you know, didn't listen to my reservations. You may not have taken his religious exemption, so I go ahead and I do it, and then this happens to me, so I'm out anyway. Indeed. Now, fast forward, say our brother Kyrie does it, and the same thing happens to him or worse.
Then what?
You know,
how y'all gonna feel?
I told you Friday, you know, there's some kids at my son's school that got jabbed. And you know, we're getting information back, you know, from other students that some of these kids are throwing up blood, you know, just coughing in their phlegm, you know, there's blood in it. And that's something that wasn't happening prior to the jab. These kids are also not just coughing up blood, but also complaining about chest pains.
And these are
15, 16, 17-year-old having those types of issues right now, other than the stab.
Exactly, man. These are young student athletes who are being pressured into this, you know what I'm saying? probably by their family, by their school, by the media. You know what I'm saying? It's being told that they're not going to be able to play, they're not going to be able to attend school, things that they want to do, things that they love to do, things that they've been working toward for a long time. They're getting to the point where scouts are going to be looking at them and stuff like that. So they don't want to ruin their chances and their opportunities. So they're like, all right, come on, I'll be all right. When you're a teenager, you think you're invincible anyway.
Anyway.
You know what I'm saying? You don't think nothing can really happen to you until it does. Right. You know what I'm saying? So that's sad to hear.
It's sad. And then also the parents, they're only going by what they're told, probably by their medical professionals. And we know just by listening to Brother Rizza and other information that has come out, if you take the time to research for yourself, doctors also were lied to, right? So it's up to us as adults, as the parents as well, is to do our own research and not just, listening to who you think is your medical professional. This thing is new for everybody, So a lot of people, as soon as it came out, ran in those lines, especially here. The Dodger Stadium, they had filled up, giving it away for free. And people were just jumping on it. It wasn't a thought because they were only listening to mainstream, media. I don't think during that time, though, you had as many other doctors and professionals that came out as strong as they have now, maybe in their defense, but people were pretty much scared into it, pumped into it, basically.
Yeah, indeed. And shout out to Brother Reza Islam, man. For those of y'all that don't know, I think he's on his 7th Instagram page now. Yeah. So for those of y'all that don't know, make sure y'all follow him. He's at Intellectual Extremist now. Yeah. And it's intellectual, the letter X, extremist.
And my thing is, why block his content or try to silence him? Debunk him.
Exactly.
That's all you have to do. It's simple as that. You know what? Either let's sit down, or we're not going to put this little stupid banner at the bottom of it, misinformation and all that. Debunk him. He's called him out. Just debunk me. Bring your science. You're welcome. Let's talk about it. And if you can refute what I'm saying, you won.
Just do it.
Just do it.
You don't have to, like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says, you never have to condemn a dirty glass. Just sit a clean one next to it.
That's it.
It's that simple. You know what I'm saying? So definitely shout out to the brother, man. He's out here on the front lines. He's definitely being heavily censored, heavily targeted by the media and the government. They have him as one of the top 12 so-called misinformationists on social media. You know what I'm saying? I think he's the only Black person on that list too, on that top 12 list. You know what I'm saying?
News, by the way, breaking news, family, since this is a current event show, Snoop Dogg, our brother Snoop Dogg's mother just passed away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so rest in peace to Snoop Dogg's mother, and, blessings and condolences go out to him and his family right now.
Absolutely. Rest in peace. I didn't even see that. That just came out?
Yeah, that just came out right now. So I have my phone right here, so the little alerts and stuff going on. So yeah.
Appreciate that. Appreciate you sharing that with us, man. Rest in peace to Snoop Dogg's moms. Yeah, so family, make sure that y'all like, share, and subscribe to the channel and all of that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? We need y'all help to boost our audience up there. Y'all been doing a great job so far. I know your followers have been going up on the gram, huh, Nicely?
Oh yeah, they have, with a new page. I'm purposely, because I'm gonna close out the other one, but I'm posting on both because I'm trying to get everybody, over there. But yeah, I will definitely be, and once it boosts up a little bit more, and then of course my Bizco, I'm learning.
Yeah.
I'll be on that. I actually just got an alert from them as well.
Yeah, I was thinking.
I'll be busy.
I was thinking that we wasn't going to be able to catch the replays from that. So what I was going to do as part of this broadcast was I was going to stream it since it's free to the public anyway. Right. I know that they wouldn't mind. I was just going to share the screen and screen it, and we could take our notes and let the audience take notes with us and all learn together. But
that too. We can do that too. Absolutely. There was also just a couple of sentences and stuff that I wanted to read. It's from Context Media Group. It was published on October 20th from by Terrain Walker. You know, I like him. You know, he puts out a lot of great information on YouTube. He's non-liberal. He seems to be one. And it was in reference to the passing of Colin Powell. Again, rest in peace and condolences to him and his family. Respect, you know, goes out to the man and what he's done. But what I've noticed in here, you know, again, it's talking about him passing and what he passed on, and how once the news broke, the airways filled with testimonials of his life and accomplishment, most notable being the first Caribbean American to serve chair as the U.S. Joint Chief of Staff and also the first Black Secretary of State. And so that was one paragraph that I wanted to kind of highlight because, again, we went straight to Caribbean American, not Black. You understand what I'm saying? So, again, what we've been pointing out so much in the new Black media is the fact that when something is good going on, it's not just Black, right? It's always, you know, Caribbean, Jamaican, whatever the case may be, American. So they get to basically, you know, be that over there, which is, I guess, is fine. But then when we're saying that, okay, that's fine, we're going to also focus on, you know, foundational Black Americans, right? You know, we're going to focus on, you know, making sure that we get a politician in place, you know, that's going to work solely for us because, you know, we've been getting the shorter end of the stick. Actually, no part of the stick, really. We've only been getting the remaining crumbs on the table, you know, and then it's deemed as divisive, right? And so I just wanted to highlight that one paragraph that they literally broke him down as Caribbean American.
Very good that you pointed that out, man, because again, we're not gonna allow. It's fine. It's fine that y'all want to represent where y'all from and all that. That's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But we're not going to allow all of the garbage that comes from some of y'all communities to be dumped on us.
Exactly.
Because whenever somebody's from one of these other places and they do some bullshit, that's when they just Black and it just gets associated with foundational Black Americans. But when they do some fly shit, he's a Caribbean American.
They have a subcategory when it's a fly shit. There's a subcategory. But now this non-FBA person that raped that woman on that train, guess what he's labeled as?
He's Black. He's just Black. He's just Black. And if we point out that this person comes from some other place, now we're being divisive.
We're being divisive
and we're xenophobic and all this other shit. Man, y'all can miss me with that. And
all that.
I'm gonna share this too since you brought that up, because again, all of our man, sorry about that. Let me
nothing happened.
Oh, you couldn't hear that because the commercial was going on.
Oh, okay. No, nothing happened.
All right, let me skip past this commercial real quick. Yeah, because all of our Caribbean and African brothers and sisters is not on the bullshit. We do have some of y'all that's thorough, and this ties into everything that we're talking about with our brother, but no, not with our brother, but with Colin Powell and with this whole tether situation too. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so this really just sums up, you know, we pay respect to Colin Powell, rest in peace to Colin Powell and all of that. We're not here to besmirch the dead or nothing like that. But at the same time, we do have to make it clear that we understand where people stand as far as this war is concerned, as far as Black empowerment is concerned. We're not going to pretend that he was a friend to foundational Black American society and that he was some type of champion for us or some type of hero for us. Because again, it's funny that you point out that, you know, they're saluting him as a Caribbean American, but I remember growing up, they was always talking about him during Black History Month as if he was supposed to be one of our heroes or something. You know what I'm saying? They like the trickery. You know, they want to include him with the Martin Luther Kings and you know, some of our real heroes. They want to include his name amongst those. You know what I'm saying? And so we do have to correct the record as far as that. And I think this clip that you sent me earlier from Kwame Ture
Yes.
Stokely Carmichael. This kind of sums up how we really feel and how we look at Colin Powell's legacy as far as the Black grassroots are concerned. So let me let the brother break it down for y'all.
Military is an excellent way for a Black person to advance.
I cannot see how anyone can tell me that the best way for one to advance is by being a hired killer. Even I don't see why we have ROTC on campus. We fought to put it off. You mean to tell me the only way we can advance is by being killers and killers of the enemies of American imperialism? Because who do we kill? We don't kill our enemies. Do we go to Azania, South Africa and kill de Klerk? Do we kill the Ku Klux Klan? Do we kill racist policemen? No, we kill Arabs who ain't doing nothing against us. We don't even know them. They've never done anything against us. So it is clear here that Mr. Powell is a liar. Mr. Powell is a traitor to his people, and Mr. Powell is a traitor to humanity, and Mr. Powell accepts that position. That position was made again, and don't you ever forget it, because of Dr. Martin Luther King. If you love King, you can never love Powell.
If you were in a
That's that on that. You know what I'm saying? That's that on that.
That's right. I mean, and again, Stokely Carmichael, non-FBA, but a rider.
A definite rider.
You know,
a definite rider.
You know, so yeah, and you know, when 91, I was still in high school, by the way, when the Iraqi war came. I don't think that I paid much to it then, of course, until I became an adult, you know, and then to learn based on a lie, millions of lives lost, thousands of American lives lost, soldiers, American soldiers, you know, wives, you know, who had to bury their husbands, you know, children, no fatherless and motherless, because both women and men died based on a lie. And then all we got later on, much later on, from Mr. Powell was, I'm sorry, but you knew going in it was a lie.
Indeed.
You know, sorry isn't enough at this point, because all the bloodshed, number one, and again, we're sending our military over there to fight for a lie, and you guys knew that. How can we celebrate that? You know, and another thing, we as Black people have to stop thinking that just because someone shared the same skin as we do, they're for us. And that goes for Obama too, because as we learned with those 8 years, you know, all skin folk ain't skin folk, because he didn't do a damn thing for Black America.
Absolutely.
And anyone that feels otherwise, just tell me what it was that he did. That didn't include everybody, because we can definitely name specific policies for other groups, not shared policies. When it came to Black America, he said, I'm not Black people's president, I'm America's president. I'll never forget that.
Absolutely. And I voted for Obama twice.
Me too.
You know what I mean? I voted for Obama twice. So, you know, I have a right to criticize, you know what I mean? And I'm going to criticize regardless, because I ain't voting for Joe Biden's podcast, and he going to get this smoke too.
All of them.
You know what I'm saying? But again, and so us highlighting our unique ethnic group as foundational Black Americans is not us being divisive. What it is us creating a vetting system for those who we're going to allow to speak for us and to represent us on, you know, in the media and politics, in business. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna allow tools of white supremacy to be our representatives any longer, so that they can make it look like this illusion of inclusion. You know what I'm saying? Right. We're gonna speak for ourselves, and that's just what it is. I meant to play this clip a little bit earlier when we were talking about how they try to change the narrative up concerning his death. And so before we switch topics, I'll just play this from your girl, your Scooby, however you say that shit. Your vice president, your sister girl, Vice President Kamala Harris. You know, when the reporter had asked her about, you know, Colin Powell getting the jab and that possibly being the cause of his demise. And this was her response. Oh, let me turn the volume up.
Well, I don't think that what happened in terms of his health situation is exactly what the doctors have told us can happen, right? In terms of people who are immunocompromised, people who have pre-existing conditions.
And again, that's a lie, because like we said earlier, let me come back on screen. Because like we said earlier, in the beginning, those were the first people that they were recommended to get it. The elderly and immunocompromised were the first people that they were recommended to get it. So now they're trying to change the narrative up. Again, that's why it's important for us to come on here on Sundays and remind y'all of these things, because they hoping that you forget. They hoping that you forget.
Most people aren't paying attention. Most people aren't paying attention to the hypocrisy, you know what I'm saying? And also the sloppiness of everything that they've been putting out, because that's how dumb they think we are. Honestly, that's how I feel. I really feel like they think that we're that dumb. It's, again, going back to, I feel like they feel like we still can't read.
And that's our fault, right? That's our fault, because what we have shown them, we have shown them time again, is that we're going to go for the okie doke. You know, you could tell us anything, don't worry about it. You know, we still got your back.
Right.
We've been faithful slaves for this long, so why would they think anything else? We haven't given them a reason to think anything else. So we got to take responsibility for that. They
had our back, but way back, like way back. It was way back.
Let me see.
I think today is a day to really reflect on the life of the man.
Yeah, you don't want to talk now.
Extraordinary service, and not to politicize the efficacy of vaccines.
Not to politicize. You know what I'm saying? Now you don't want to politicize it?
Right. What? At your convenience.
Yeah, man. So that's how they play. That's how they get down. You know what I'm saying? And you know, we don't expect anything less from them. But it's again, it's our job to make sure that we control the narrative. You know what I'm saying? Because as long as we stay pushing our agenda, and as long as we stay promoting the truth about these matters and standing on that, then you know the narrative will correct itself. Because you know the truth doesn't get remixed, and you know it doesn't change up every other news segment. You know what I'm saying? We've been telling the same truth since the beginning, since this thing first jumped off, and it ain't changed yet. They're the ones that keep changing, and eventually they're gonna have to start sounding more and more like us. You know what I'm saying?
They always do. In the end, they start to repeat, but they'll put some remixing on it. You know what I'm saying? Just like that executive order that Biden supposedly put out, they're supposedly be for, you know, Black Americans, right? And they start sounding and using all the lingo, and Brother Tariq broke that down line for line. And I was like, now look at this mess right here. So again, what did they say? White supremacy is about deception. So how long are we going to allow ourselves to be deceived? You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. You have to study for yourself. This enemy ain't about to tell you nothing truthful.
Indeed. So let's talk about that, man. Let's talk a little bit about that. Biden finally puts out a so-called executive order for Black Americans. And again, Tariq broke the whole thing down on his show. So make sure y'all check that out if y'all haven't had a chance to check it out. We're not going to go through the whole gamut of it, you know what I'm saying? But we could talk about it a little bit, right? Because it's nothing but a big pump fake and really a big nothing burger at the end of the day. When you read through it, there's nothing actionable, there's nothing tangible.
Nothing.
It's just them reminding us of how low we are on the totem pole, everything that's bad about Black society, but there's nothing about what we're going to do to fix it.
Right.
There's nothing about what resources are going to be allocated in order to rectify it. No. Right?
It's just writer to dreamers, LGBT, and all that stuff. My thing is, if you're FBA and you're, you know, gay, trans, blah, 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 then you get it. Welcome, right? Why, again, do we have to separate Black FBA from LGBT? My thing is, it's Black first. You were Black before you were gay, you know, to me, you know. And you're still Black. People don't know that you're gay, one, unless you tell them. I don't know if you're trans unless you tell me you're trans. You know, now they look kind of good, you know.
Yeah, some of them do it, sure.
Yeah, so if the police pull you over, right, because you're Black, It's not because you're trans. It's not because you're gay or any of that other stuff. They saw black skin first. And so that's where I feel like also there's this disconnect between the black LGBT and FBA. And again, or maybe they just like being tools for white supremacy as well. I'm starting to think you like it. You feel like there's some biscuits, you
Indeed.
know, hanging
Indeed.
for you because you know better. I can't believe that you guys are that crazy. You can't.
No, a lot of them are definitely willing tools, and they're kind of just like the tethers. They're kind of just like the immigrant tethers.
Right.
They know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? For them, it's about finding a comfortable spot for themselves. It's not about the group. It's not about the group. It's about their sexual access to those in the dominant society and any little crumbs that can get flicked off the table for them doing their bidding. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's mostly about.
When do we stop that though? Because again, just during Obama, even before that, we can go, beyond Obama. We can start there. But my thing is, we've been seeing other groups get rewarded resources time and time again, specifically ones that aren't even allowed to vote, right? Everyone gets ahead of the line, in front of us. At what point do we stop and say, wait a minute, no more? We can't keep allowing other groups to come in here and stand and get in line or stand on our shoulders, etc., and we still get nothing. We're always at the mercy of other people. We're taxpayers too. Not only that, our ancestors built this country free. You know what I'm saying? We have never, ever, ever been repaired. You're still oppressing us to this day. You give us a couple symbolic, symbols or whatever, but no repair. And you're still telling me that I have to I have to be okay and willing to allow another group to come over here and again step in front of the line in front of me. And you tell me we're the most oppressed. We're dying the most of COVID. All these things, yet all these groups get ahead and we get no resources. And
especially you, right? Because you're supposed to be a double minority as a black woman, right?
Right.
So you black and you're a woman. You know what I'm saying? But still, a white Hispanic male gets to cut you in line. You know what I'm saying? A Asian male, wannabe white supremacist gets ahead of you in line because they got resources. They got resources with their executive order.
Right. But why? Because they're a group. Indeed. They're not. They don't have subgroups within them. They on code. And guess what? Their code is not something that they have to speak out loud. I don't see no leader at the podium talking about this and that. Everything that they've done, especially within this last year, right, with this whole pandemic, and to get a hate crime bill signed into law and $50 million, and you're not even a huge voting bloc, number one, and I don't see an Asian leader.
Great points. Great points. And the way that they're moving and the way that they operate is exactly what Dr. Claude has been trying to teach us. Exactly what Nellie Fuller has been trying to teach us with the compensatory code. That's exactly how they move. Exactly. We ain't got to reinvent the wheel. Success leaves clues.
Right.
Let's look at what those who are successful are doing. Now, granted, they have an advantage because of their skin complexion and because the system is more willing to create these model minority groups and all of that stuff and these buffer classes in order to further subjugate us. So they do have that to their advantage, but at the same time, their code is their strength.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And shout out to my brother, 4144 Theory.
Me too, 4144. If I see one more electric slide, Soul Train line, I'm gonna scream.
Yeah, man, because that's exactly what we start to see again, because we're entering into the new election cycle. The midterm elections is coming up in 2022, I think.
2022.
And so we're back into that cycle. And so now we're seeing the same old two-step, literally. Same old two-step. And that was the exact reason for this fake ass executive order too.
Right.
Just so they could be able to give them a talking point to say, well, he did do something for black people. Look at this fake ass executive order over here.
Right.
Ain't nothing in here for y'all niggas, but look, it says black 3,000 times.
Right. Like you have no idea I'll say arguments, even unfortunately with family, about what it is that he's doing, how great of a job he's doing. And I'm sitting here like, are you guys blind for who? And again, until you get, and he may be doing some great things for other people. We're talking about us as a group. You're talking about the bottom. We're negative 1% at this point as far as wealth.
Yo, honestly, even when it comes to non-black issues, just overall as a president, his ratings are down.
38%,
you know what I'm saying? Foreign policy ratings are down. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. He's trying to cater to that Trump crowd. You know what I'm saying? And some of those middle American crowd. He's trying to cater to them because he's like, all right, I done lost.
Did you see him throw up the white power sign?
Oh man, I saw that. I saw that slick shit.
Right. You see, the thing is, and what is it that Neely Fuller said? Was it him? If you don't understand white supremacy, anything, how you say it, you know what I'm talking about, will have you confused.
If you don't understand white supremacy, what it is and how it works, everything else that you understand will only confuse you. Not everything else that you think you understand, but everything else that you actually understand will only serve to confuse you.
Right.
Because all war is deception. And the white supremacists are masters of deception. You know what I'm saying? They know how to lace the truth up with enough lies to have you all fucked up in the head.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
They're doing with the hip hop artists, right? They're purposely putting forth these certain artists, right, to sell us the dream. If I can rap about, murdering and pillaging my own people, well, look how much money you can make here. And then they also get them to get out here and push in the stab. You got Meg Thee Stallion just got a what is that chicken place?
Popeyes. Oh man.
Selling biscuits to black people, right?
Literal biscuits. Literal biscuits. I saw that shit. I was in the gym on the treadmill, and I looked up at the TV. I said, "Is that Meg the goddamn Stallion?"
Man. I was like, and sometimes I'm like, this isn't insulting to your intelligence, to you as a person, as a black person. You don't find that kind of disrespectful at this point.
Shout out to Jackson Harlan. That's our brother right there. Yeah, man.
It's wild that unfortunately some black people don't even see it. Like at this point, and the thing is, they recycle the same tricks. They don't even change it. Again, look at the shucking and jiving. The shucking and jiving has been going on since I was a teenager, basically. I think that started, the shucking and jiving dancing part started with Clinton. Oh, he can play the saxophone.
That saxophone, yeah.
Oh, saxophone. Wait, this is better. That was our first black president. Remember black folks saying that?
Yep.
Right?
That was y'all's. That was y'all's aunties and them. That was y'all aunties and them with that bullshit.
Man, that's our first black president because he can play the saxophone.
Absolutely. Nigga decimated black society.
Decimated when he signed that 94 crime bill that your current president, Biden, it was his idea. And
Biden's law.
It's Biden's law. And Clinton signed it into law to secure the presidency. Y'all, y'all got to start researching. We got to start thinking as a collective and thinking as a B1, period, point blank. We got to get on one accord. Otherwise, like Dr. Claus said, we're a permanent underclass. Indeed. We are a permanent underclass until we collectively start thinking and getting on code.
Indeed, man. And while we're on this topic of Biden, there's a couple of, I'm not going to read the whole articles because again, I don't know if you're familiar with this brother, TD Hip Hop. You familiar with that channel on YouTube?
I like him. Thorough. Very thorough.
Yo, shout out to my brother on the TD Hip Hop News channel. It's TD Hip Hop and TD Hip Hop News. He has the news channel and he has his podcast channel. Definitely subscribe to him if you're not already.
Yes.
he covered this issue very thoroughly, and I just want to talk a little bit about a couple of the articles that he pointed out. Yeah, man. And the other thing about that brother too is some people don't even know that brother is of Haitian descent. He's not even a foundational Black American.
But he riding for us though.
He keeps it 100. Keeps it 100. So shout out to him. And let me just, this is a couple of parts in here that I wanted to point out to y'all, man, because Biden's ratings, like we were just saying, are way down, especially when it comes to Black folks. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Especially
young Black people, because young Black people are the ones who's, at this point, it's up to us, to teach the older, generation, and some of them are set in their ways. You're not going to get through to everybody, but it's up to us to also, share with them what we're learning, because you never know what you're going to spark in them, as well, because they don't know. They're not connected to social media the way that we are, the Black grassroots, they're not. They don't know. They look at CNN and all those other places. So it's up to us to, basically teach them.
Exactly. And if you are a thorough individual who has the respect of your family, of your parents, of your grandparents, your aunties and uncles, if they respect you as a person, they're going to have an open ear when you're trying to drop some shit on them. You know what I'm saying? If you're somebody who don't make no sense no other time, nothing else you do don't make no sense, and then you're gonna come try to bring some information to them, they're not trying to hear that shit. So make sure you got your shit together in your personal life. You know what I'm saying? Not saying, everybody got their issues and stuff that they go through or whatever, but just make sure that you are thorough in your personal life before you come trying to drop some game on your family members, because they ain't trying to hear that shit from you. You ain't been right all this time.
Unfortunately, just like, unfortunately, young and old, if you don't have what they deem as trinkets, it's success to people.
That's true.
The more trinkets you have, sometimes people think that, you being successful or having success. And a lot of times those trinkets come with selling your people out. You're going to have to learn how to differentiate, who's with you, and who's scamming you too. And that can happen within your family as well.
Absolutely.
Your neighbor, whoever, you know who's on code.
Yo, and that's a good point as far as the trinkets, because that also applies with our kids sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I know when you're in situations like with me, like I got kids who live under my roof, but I also got kids outside of the house too. And when they're young like that and they're impressionable, you know what I'm saying? They looking up to the rappers and people with the bling and all that, and the big cars and all that, and what they deem as being successful. And so a lot of times, if we bumming out here, they're not really trying to hear us either. You know what I'm saying? So it's important for us to reach a certain level of success in our lives where we can be respected by the youth as well. Not saying that you got to be shining out here all crazy, you know what I'm saying? But they can tell the difference between if you a bum ass nigga or you some bum ass chick sitting on your ass, not really building nothing, not really getting nothing done, not really, doing nothing for them, not leaving nothing for them to have to look forward to in their future. They can't even look to you for some help if they're trying to go to school or whatever the case may be. They can't rely on you for none of that, but they're supposed to listen to you when you dropping some political game on them, or you're trying to drop some social game on them or something. They're not trying to hear that either. They need you to show and prove as well.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in that. You can't do that, do as I say, not as I do anymore. These kids want to see it too. We're in a different time. And again, they can see things, on these little computers. Those are computers now. You know what I'm saying? And all our kids, my daughter, who's 26 years old, had her first cell phone at 10. It was the chirp. Remember back in the day, we had a little chirp phone. I was like, okay, once we figure out that you can keep this one up, we'll, graduate you to the next step. But she was 10 years old when I first got her a phone, to keep her in touch with us or whatever. So these kids are smarter than we think, and we have to stop playing them like they're dumb.
Absolutely.
I talk to my son like he's a young man, because he is one.
Absolutely.
To me, and I refuse to leave whatever mistakes he makes, which he's going to make them. I believe though that certain mistakes you don't need to make, because I've secured you with the knowledge to avoid certain things. But there are things
Absolutely.
that you're gonna, mistakes that you're gonna make. Like we constantly are sitting down, talking, chopping it up. I talk to his friends. I be like, y'all be over here on y'all phones, y'all over here playing the video game. When are y'all gonna come up with some type of business idea? It's three of y'all. He was like, well, with my son and his two main friends. I'm like, it's three of y'all. Y'all collectively, because everybody has something they can bring. What type of business y'all trying to start? Get it together. Start talking about business.
Plant those seeds. Plant those
Planting,
seeds.
I'm
They hear
planting those
you.
things right now because, and my son always said, Mom, I don't want to work for nobody. I don't want to work for nobody. Well, it's time for you to start thinking about what it is that you want to do, which he has some ideas I can share with you. But, and I try to nourish that as much as I can. It's only so much obviously I can do because it's just me, but I try my best. And what I would do, and people know about me, is I will, if it's something that's going to help him grow, I'm there. I dive in. Even if it doesn't work out, I want him to have those experiences. I'm that mom, you
Yes, that's
know.
good. That's great. That's great. And again, family, before we get into this article, make sure y'all hit that like button, share this broadcast out on your social media platforms, and make sure you are subscribed to the channel and click the notification bell so you can be reminded when we go live each and every Sunday. And also, y'all see at the bottom, look forward to our Black Business Showcase this Wednesday as well as Thursday. We got two back-to-back shows this week.
Double hitter.
Who we got on Wednesday, Sister Nicely?
On Wednesday, we have our sister warrior princess, Professor Zahelia from Raw Life Self Defense out of Long Beach, California. And on Thursday, we actually have Karan Joseph Riley, ex NFL player, current actor. So he'll be gracing us also with his presence. So this week, we have a double hitter for y'all.
Yes, yes, yes. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to that. Make sure y'all are tapped in with us. All right.
Yes.
And so now back to Jim Crow Joe over here.
Body boogie.
Back to Jim Crow Joe. And so this headline in the Morning Consult says Biden is less popular with black voters after the you know what mandate rollout. President's net approval rating amongst key Democratic constituency is down 12 points since September 9th announcement, right? And so there's only a couple of parts that I wanted to point out in here real quick. And again, I was trying to figure out how to highlight stuff, but it wasn't working out too good for me. Hold on. All right. Wait, there was a part before this. Up here. President Joe Biden's sweeping federal rules to mandate, you know what, hasn't hurt him with the overall electorate, but it appears to have spurred a weakening of his standing with one of his most reliable pieces of the Democratic Party's coalition, black voters. So again, we are their most reliable constituency, family. They cannot win without us.
No.
They cannot win nary election without us. Right. And so why shouldn't we get something out of that? Why should we? Only a slave is expected to do something for nothing. Right. So let me continue here. The rise in negative views. I'm skipping down in the article, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all go check out this article. Sister View of One, if you can, grab the link to this article. It's on the Morning Consult. Let me read the headline for you one more time. Biden is less popular with black voters after you know what mandate rollout. If you could grab that link and put it in the chat for the family, I would appreciate that. Thank you. But skipping down, because like I said, we're not going to go through the whole thing. My brother TD already did a thorough breakdown of this here, but it's just a couple of parts I wanted to highlight. So the rise in negative views came almost entirely from you know what black voters. 38% of black voters who say they have not received their you know what disapprove of Biden's job performance, up 11 points since before he announced the mandate, while 56% approve, down 6 points over that time frame. So what is that telling us?
Well, I think for me, I personally, I think that there's a little bit of deception in there, only because it's pointing out that black people are disappointed about the mandate, and I don't think that's it. Black people are disappointed about not getting anything for our vote. You know, and
Absolutely.
so they're going to make it about this mandate. I think that other groups are more mad than Black people because I feel like a lot of Black people have just, followed suit like we do, sheep. But I think that Black people are mad and more upset, especially the young voters. When I say young, I'm going to say us and, be backwards. About not getting anything for your vote. We have sit here from, his first day writing executive orders for other groups and not your voting base. I believe that between Black men and women, he secured about 97, 98% of the Black vote. And all you gave me was Juneteenth and a mandate
And a statue
and a statue of George
George
Floyd.
Floyd.
Yeah, we didn't ask for that though. And also, when we were talking about, ending qualified immunity, all these things, student loan forgiveness, everything, all of a sudden now I can't do that. But these are things that you were promising on the campaign trail. And not to say politicians don't lie to get your vote, but you haven't done one thing Black people have asked you to do. Not even spoke to Ice Cube at this point.
He's reneging on everything.
Everything.
Oh yeah. I got you. Yeah. I got you. But yeah, no, you just made a good point a little while ago about the deception that's in that article as well, right? But again, God is in the nuances, right? Because I got a little something a little different out of that as well. Because like you said, those of us who feel the way that you just described, most of us sat the selection out anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We don't have the Biden's remorse because we didn't go out and vote because we knew we wasn't going to get nothing in advance. Mm-hmm. But the ones who actually did go out and vote are some of the same people who feel a type of way about this mandate. Right. So they're trying to make it seem like it's only us. The ones who sat the vote out, the ones who are B1, the ones who are the hoteps. They're making it seem like we're the only ones who have a problem with these mandates, who have questions about the jab. Right. But when I read that, I said, so there are some people that we would look at as sheep who did go out and vote for the Democrats who are feeling some type of way about these mandates and are uncomfortable with getting the jab. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then also to use us, to me as a scapegoat, because again, we're being scapegoated when it comes to this jab and the mandate. And was this yesterday or the day before? Those electric workers from General Electric that walked out. Now, did you see black skinned people out there?
No.
All right. So again, we're always being used as a scapegoat. So again, we're always the target of anything negative that happens. We're always made the example out of. All these white walkouts, I have not really seen, black people leading the charge on that. It's other groups that are. Let's be very, very clear on that. So again, you guys, it's very important that you understand how deceitful these people really are, because you can read that and be like, yeah, black people are going along to get along when it comes to this jab. I'm just keeping it a buck. I think it's far few in between that have not, or even questioning it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You have a whole group, and there's a lot of people, I don't know if you can share that, but on here, but General Electric workers just walked out of their jobs because of this mandate. You have police departments. And again, it's not a lot of black officers there aren't any black officers leading the charge on this. That's very clear.
Exactly. Black people scared to lose their little jobs and shit. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Especially in city jobs.
You know what I'm saying? The white folks, they got something to fall back on for the most part. Mm-hmm. Most white folks are about 3 to 6 degrees away from some type of wealth. You know what I'm saying? There's a family business, there's some property, some land, some a trust fund or something that they can rely on if all goes bad. Black people don't got that.
Government. They can also rely on the government because white supremacy, white skin supersedes everything. They're going to get benefits and help first.
Indeed. I'm trying to see if I can pull up that walkout. We're going to get to the other thing that you sent me too. We're going to end this segment with that. I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, just to show y'all some of these headlines. Actually, yeah, I won't even pull up one in particular. Let me stop sharing that and come back over here. And just to show y'all some of the headlines so y'all can see what we're talking about here. Boom. Boom. Again, hit the like button, y'all. Share button, subscribe, all that good stuff. Boom. So yeah, a quick Google search. I'll pull up these results. Can y'all see that? No. All right, here it goes. Boom. Let me make it bigger. Let me make it bigger. All right, there it is. There it is. So yeah, dozens of General Electric workers walk out to protest you know what mandates. 200 plus GE employee union members stage walkout in Schenectady Friday protesting the mandates. Hundreds of GE workers in New York walk off the job over mandates. Right? So they trying to wag they finger at us,
right?
But
we're always a scapegoat.
You know,
we're always a scapegoat. So I want, again, that's where you guys have to start paying attention as well. Read it obviously because they'll give you some truth filled with a whole bunch of lies as well, and it's up to you to take the bad out and do your own thing. But yeah, we're not the ones that's leading the charge on this, and I don't think that that's really what pissed Black people off. I think some of us are, but we didn't get nothing. We didn't even get the promise of you talking to Cube.
Yeah,
he could, with this little executive order for Black
people. My brother
people
said that earlier.
Was for Black people. He could have easily took that time to talk to Cube, grab some of the stuff from Cube's contract for Black America and threw it in there, as Trump did.
And at least it would have been a better pump fake.
Right.
You know what I mean? It would have been a better strategically. It still wouldn't have been anything substantive that was really for us, right?
Right.
But it would have been a better strategy for them at least. Like, it's so insulting the way that they're going about this shit. Like, what
exactly. But that's why they're so cocky that
this is why right here.
Anyway.
This is why right here.
Right.
This is why right here. Because you got bootlicks who's going to come out here and defend this garbage.
Yeah. No matter
what. And run interference for them. Right. Let me read some of this. Booker defends Biden's Black agenda, urges Black voters to show up in 2022 midterms.
For what? Tell me why, Booker.
He finna tell you. Look. U.S. Senator Cory Booker acknowledged that without Black voters, Democrats will get decimated. Same thing that we've been telling y'all. Same thing that we've been telling y'all, right? He acknowledged that though, right? Because you really don't have no choice. All of these moves that they're making right now are out of pure desperation.
Right.
Pure desperation because they're running out of time and they know they're about to get decimated because it's not just us in the Black grassroots who are tired of this nonsense, who see what's going on and who plan on sitting out this next round of elections. Right. That number is growing and they know that. So let me come down here. And let me read. I read the headline, right? Yeah, I read the headline.
Yeah, you did.
Okay. So they're talking about the George Floyd.
We didn't ask for that.
Yeah, something that we didn't ask for, but they're talking about how that's dead in the water. That ain't even something that we cared about, but even that's dead in the water. Y'all couldn't even get that done.
Right.
So they said the Floyd bill is essentially dead in the water. Booker vowed to work with President Biden to move forward on executive orders to address policing in America and do what he can on the legislative side to ensure the president's other policy agendas are passed in Congress. As the Griot exclusively reported on Friday, the Griot, y'all know that's
right.
That's Byron Allen's
LGBT.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. As they pointed out on Friday, the White House is now mulling over the executive actions Biden can take to enact police reform without help from Congress. All right. And so he says, Booker's remarks also comes after several months of voting rights protests which again, that's for immigrants. That's not for
Right. I
us,
was
y'all.
just gonna say that. Don't be deceived by that. Your rights are not going to be taken away from you. They're trying to create a new voting block and make it easier for immigrants and illegals to vote in these elections because they're trying to figure out a way. They already know they're losing the black vote. So what do we do to get another voting block? Immigrants.
Mm-hmm. 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 And it's not the part that I was looking for. See, that's why I was trying to get that highlight popping. Okay, it's down here. All right, I'm skipping down in the article a little bit, y'all. This is on Yahoo. I think the article originally came out again. It came out in the Griot originally, but this is about, you know, Cory Booker running interference for Joe Biden and trying to tell y'all still need to vote for him, even though he ain't did shit, he ain't finna do shit. But vote blue no matter who.
That's it.
Right.
Yeah, honestly, it's so sad that, you know, when I first started voting at 18, as soon as I turned 18, it was really important. You know, my mom was like, you go out, you vote. And I was like, well, who? I don't, you know, of course, I don't know anything. I didn't follow politics, anything. And she was like, you just down the line, wherever you see Democrat, that's what you check. That's exactly how I was taught all my life. I've never voted on policy literally until this last election cycle. And that's sad.
Shout out to you. That ain't sad. Shout out to you.
I mean, again, I could have been, you know, well, again, we all voted for Bo twice, so
yeah. And I know you probably just like me voted for him just because he was black. You ain't know nothing about policy.
He had some good stuff, you know, until he made it too, and it turned into I'm not, you know, the first black president, I'm America's president. He started talking greasy later once he secured the vote. You know, and again, we weren't paying attention to policy either, you know, because he was doing his little electric slide. Oh, he got swag, and you know, he wore the tan suit. So,
and Michelle
on the shit that we should have been focused on.
Michelle, you know what I'm saying? Because Michelle black.
Yeah.
So we was extra turned up for that. You know what I'm saying?
For nothing though.
And my kids was young at the time. My kids were still very small, and I just thought it would be fly. That was another thing that a lot of us was pushing. You know, representation. You know, our kids gonna see a black family in the White House. You know what I'm saying? That's something that we could be proud of. You know, it's really not. It's really not. It really backfired because now that the kids are older and they look at Obama as being weak because what came after him was Donald Trump, who was a gangster. You know what I'm saying? So they grew up seeing a black man who couldn't get anything done. And then this white man comes along on his gangster shit, doing whatever he feel like doing. And nobody couldn't turn him down. Right. He was turned down for what?
And this little, you know, Jim Crow Joe trying to do the same thing almost. You know, wagging his little old ass finger, you know, talking crazy or whatever. And honestly, what I will say is Trump was not focused on black people.
Not at all.
Everybody was a target.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You know, yes, his white base was his white base. You know what I'm saying? But all others, all y'all gonna get a book. You know, and I can respect that. But again, under Jim Crow Joe Biden, all knives, all bullets, all bats, all weapons are designated for us. Period. Point blank.
And we were told this, y'all.
Yep.
We were told this over and over again. Listen, you'd rather deal with an honest white supremacist like Donald Trump because if the Democrats get in power, we don't only have to deal with white supremacy. White supremacy is something that we've been dealing with for 500 years. We used to that. Right. We know how to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? But and the other thing about it too was more and more of our people were waking up under Donald Trump because you ain't have no choice. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He was like an alarm clock, like, hold on, this country is really ain't nothing really changed out here. People who didn't realize it before were saying, hold up, this is a racist ass country. What's going on here? Black people was in a messed up position here. And so that was better for us, y'all.
It was.
That was better for us because now, again, we're not only having to deal with white supremacy, we got to deal with anti-blackness coming from the Latino immigrants, coming from the LGBT community, coming from every angle.
Every angle. You know, that Dave Chappelle thing, basically, outside of butt break in the movie, right? Dave Chappelle and this stand-up thing, and you see how aggressive, and violent that these LGBT people are over a movie. Now you just imagine if it was the flip side. You know what I'm saying? How they will be trying to get some more of them, they're trying to, I honestly think that they're trying to use this Dave Chappelle thing to get more funds. They trying to get some more dollars. One way or the other, maybe they're trying to get Netflix to make a large donation. I don't know, but I feel like this is also about money. It's always about money. And also butt breaking him. They want him to bow down. I want him to apologize. I want to butt break, then get him off his high horse.
Yeah, indeed. It's a money grab. It's a buck breaking attempt for a black icon,
right?
And it's also, I think, it's a bit of controlled opposition, right? Mm-hmm. Because they're not as angry about Dave Chappelle's special as they're pretending to be,
right?
You know what I'm saying? But if they can make that the issue of the day, then they can ignore some of the real issues that we out here fighting about and talking about. You know what I'm saying? They can keep all the focus over here and have everybody fighting back and forth about nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Is he a homophobe? Is he not a homophobe? Is he transphobe? Is he not a transphobe? Have everybody going back and forth about that, then we're not getting anything real done. You know what I'm saying?
Nothing done, but we're also still, while they're still pointing there and wagging their finger, calling him a homophobe and transphobe, we're not focused on their racism. See, they're still controlling the narrative, right? We're still hearing homophobia. We're still hearing transphobia. No, we talking about y'all racism, though. That's what we talking about. And we're not going to let y'all shout and scream and holler so loud that gets erased. No, we're going to call you to the carpet on your shit, too.
Indeed. What you say here, Jackson, the black LGBT folks were marching for their gender and said nothing about blackness when the media pointed out their microphones disgrace.
Right. Absolutely. Because again, you're not being discriminated against black, LGBTQ, IFG, QZ, whatever, all these alphabets or whatever. It's your blackness, brothers and sisters. It's your blackness. And also what we're also going to do right now, we're going to cut off this whole narrative that black men specifically are homophobic. And black people are homophobic. We're the most welcoming and loving people. We may not agree with your lifestyle. And again, it's your choice, right? I know some of us have gay people in our families, and we don't love them any dang on different. Every function, they're there with their significant others, etc. And we accept them, right? But including them, y'all black first. Don't ever get on this train here because it's not for you. Right. But we're just the most in the church. I grew up in church, Baptist church, the choir director, the organist, like, come on now. We grew up seeing it and accepting it. We didn't make fun of it. They didn't get beat up. They weren't getting chased, after school. None of that. Honestly, we didn't really see it too much in school. I think you knew who it was.
It was your business.
You accepted them.
It was your business. Like, nobody didn't care. And the thing is, we're not making laws and policies to discriminate against nobody based off their sexuality. We're not the ones who determine that you get to use this bathroom or that bathroom, or that you could go in the military or you can't go in the military, or that you're allowed to get married and not allowed to get married. That, all roads always lead back to the white supremacists. You know what I'm saying? They're the ones that's doing all of this shit. It ain't us. So but you're trying to paint us as the biggest bigots out here. Right. You know what I'm saying? Come on with that bullshit.
Furthest from bigots. We're again the most accepting people in the world, the most loving, because again, before white supremacy, if you want to go back, to Kemet, and during those times, we were okay with sharing because we had abundance. There was no need for us to be savages against one another, or even if someone that stumbled in. Right? We were going to share with you too, because we've always had abundance. There was none of that stuff that white supremacy brought,
to our detriment.
So again, that's not something that we are by nature. And if we do develop it, we learned it from them.
Indeed. Yeah, good point on 41, 44 theory. That's the only problem that we got.
Oh yeah, for
leave
sure.
leave our kids alone with this shit. And that goes for any type of sexuality. Straight sex, gay sex, leave my babies alone, man.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
I think it was Van, whatever his name is, when they came out with the whole Batman was bisexual thing. And so he went as far as posting something about Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse on a cartoon kissing.
Yeah, that was the dude from TMZ, right?
TMZ, yeah. And I'm just like, dude, like, sit down somewhere. Sit your butt down somewhere. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, we know, and he knows when he even put that out there, you know, you still trying to grab a biscuit, you know, and the purpose of you doing that was so you can draw some attention for yourself for a biscuit, a show, some endorsements, whatever the case may be. You still looking out for you. I'm so tired of the
I just want to point this out as well while we're on this topic. You know, we veered off a little bit, but this is important. Because you said earlier about, you know, how accepting we are, you know what I'm saying, and we don't care about these people's lifestyle. But I saw a story today. My son sent me a story today where this boy, this young black kid had shot and killed his stepfather, and the headline was saying because he invited a gay person to one of their family functions.
Right.
So the stepfather invited some gay dude to come to one of the family functions. The stepson had a problem with it, and he ended up shooting and killing his stepfather. But it was kind of a reactionary thing. They charged him with first-degree murder. Now, first-degree murder means that this was your plan. You know, it was premeditated. You know what I'm saying? You woke up this morning with murder on your mind. But him and his stepdad, I guess they got into it. The kid didn't feel comfortable with the gay dude coming to the function or whatever the case may be, and he told his stepdad he ain't want to be in there, and they got into it over that. And then the stepdad put hands on him, and they started fighting. And he had a gun on him, and he pulled it out and shot him. Yeah. Unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? It's an unfortunate, tragic event. But the headline will have you thinking that it was just based off of this gay dude. You know what I'm saying? He was so enraged about a gay person coming to this family function that he killed his stepfather over it. Right. Nah, his stepfather put hands on him after they got into it, and it escalated. You know what I'm saying?
The thing is, yeah, they going about that one day, right, in that one event. But what led up to it? There was already some type of beef, perhaps some bad energy, you know, going on, and unfortunately, that event just brought it out.
And was it just because he was gay, or were there prior interactions with this gay person?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Disrespectful, perhaps.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes some of y'all dudes is loose, man. Some of y'all moist niggas is loose, and y'all don't know y'all boundaries. You know what I'm saying? And everybody not with that shit because the media got y'all hyped up, and the politicians got y'all hyped up. Y'all feel like y'all this protected class and everything. Y'all feel like y'all don't have to respect people's boundaries, and you could just talk to people any old kind of way and flirting with niggas and pushing up on niggas and shit. Like, y'all gotta chill, man.
Let me tell you, my brother drives Uber, and you know, a lot of the Uber money is in the Hollywood, West LA, you know, area, especially doing a lot of events, but it's always clubs and parties and stuff, like, you know, those high-end parties, celebrity parties, etc., right? So a lot of he, you know, targets those areas. So anyway, he gets someone in there, and this guy's obviously drunk, right? It's late. And he says some inappropriate stuff, you know, to my brother. And my brother, you know, trying to be cool, whatever, and like, hey, you know, there's obviously this is the area for this, and there's guys that are into this. Why would you even say that to me? Because I let you know that I'm a straight male. He said, oh, because it's fun. I don't want, my brother saying, I'm paraphrasing, I don't want the ones that's already gay. I want the ones that are not gay. So it is a game, and this is not something that was that long ago. You're talking about within the year, you know. And he just outright told my brother, that's no fun being with someone that likes you. It's fun killing someone.
So buck breaking. Buck breaking. That's what he's into.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh man.
So it's a thing, you know, and you know, we're not gonna sit there and say all, you know, gay people are doing that, but I'm sure that there's enough. If that one got in that car and was able to admit that, you imagine how many more out there are like that, you know. And I have another story. And honestly, my son told me he overheard someone that basically was like, we were in a location, I don't want to say because they gonna know exactly what I'm talking about, but my son has hazel eyes, right? And so we were at this location, and there's some people that we know or whatever making comments, but basically so he can hear. If he was older, I would give him something to drink. And so, and they're looking like at each other with these eyes, like, you know, making sure that he hears it. So he taps me or whatever, but he thinks that they're talking about each other, well, one of the other ones. And I was like, I had to pull him to the side and give him some game. I was like, no, because that one is drinking age, basically. Well, not yet, but his parents let him do it. He's technically grown, right? Over 18, over 19, but not 21, you know? So, and he does all this in front of his parents. I said, that was for you. And let me explain to you. I had to pull him to the side, you know, and explain that this is a game that people want to play. And I will go, honestly, his father will go off. You play with him like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, my thing is leave kids alone. My son at this time was like 15. Leave kids alone.
And he's a big boy. He might look older, you know, and people perceive our kids as being grown even when they're not.
My son got a baby face, no hair nowhere. He still hasn't even, he's big, which is funny. He's so tall and big, but he hasn't gotten no little whiskers yet. His voice hasn't gone down yet. He's even asking, like, when is it going to happen? You know, he's waiting. He wants the full beard. All my nephews are like, you bearded, you know, or whatever. So he's like waiting for his hairs and stuff to go and his voice to change and sound like his uncles. Everybody got that Barry White thing going on. He's waiting for that. He wants it. I want to feel like a man. And then you got these little, you know, folks over here that's throwing little signals, and they know that you're underage. Both of them know that. They play these games.
Man. Hey, you want to talk about this? Hold on a second. Let me see if you want to talk. Hold on. Oh, wait. Because before we end that, damn, I didn't get to pull that one up. I didn't get to pull the booty to the polls thing up. But I know y'all seen it. I know y'all seen who is that? Who put that thing out there? Somebody on Twitter, their Twitter handle is Black Visions, and they put up that flyer.
Oh yeah, y'all. We gotta talk about this.
They put up this flyer, polls to the polls. Shake that ass to the voting booth.
Basically, get your booties to the poll. They did this last year, right? Too. They did some thing like that with strippers. Basically, that was their way to galvanize the black votes by having a bunch of strippers. Now, pay attention to the bottom left of that flyer. Did you catch it?
I see the flag. I see the flag. Yeah,
right.
I see the flag.
The umbrella.
So that tells you who's behind this and where the money is coming from. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the thing with the white LGBT community, right? They look at the black community just as you know, the gutter. Just everything that's gutter is what they associate with us. You know what I'm saying? And they try to flip it and make it seem like it's something empowering. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to use the stripper image as something that's empowering. Something came out a couple of weeks ago where they was talking about, you know, Sarah Bartman and how that image is something empowering now all of a sudden. You know what I'm saying? And then most of the time that's coming from the white LGBT community with they garbage, man. You know what I'm saying? But family, don't tell me y'all finna fall for the booties to the polls thing again, man.
Again, at what point do we see something like that? One, call it out, you know, because it should not make you feel like, oh, you know, they woke. Oh, they know what we know. It's insulting because you do not see them go to any other community with this type of trash. Yes, that's trash. Now let me just say this: I have nothing against strippers and strip clubs. I go.
Oh, hey.
I've gone. I'll go tap in, go in there and, see. It's okay to, if you want to go have a drink and watch it or whatever, but they struggling. Them strippers are struggling too, and they have to do a whole lot for them tips. It ain't just nobody coming up in there just, throwing thousands of dollars on their back. Let's be very, very, very clear about that.
Yeah,
they're out here working. Those are, I guess, what you want to call them, working women.
It's a time and a place for everything, family. It's a time and place for everything. And right now, this is inappropriate behavior, as Nelly Fuller would say. This is inappropriate behavior.
It is.
You know what I'm saying?
We're talking, so when you're talking about voting, when you're talking about, politics, that's business. So that means it's time to get serious. We have to treat it like a business and get things in order for your group. What is getting your booties to the polls or going to the strip club have to do with policies? It's disrespectful. We have to look at that as disrespect and call that trash all the way out.
And that's how they get to tell you that Cardi B and Suki with the good coochie are your leaders.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Cardi said that she's no longer talking politics because the Republican Party was talking trash or something. I don't think that's what it was. I think that you're no longer talking politics because you served your purpose. Joe Biden is in office.
I didn't even see that she said that.
Yeah, she said that she was no longer going to talk politics because, she said the Republicans were bullying her. No, it wasn't the Republicans.
Cardi B worried about somebody bullying her? Please.
Right. Yeah.
Please.
Again, deception. That's where, you have to understand deception, people.
Yeah. So she just got called off duty. You good. Fall back.
Right.
Go back in the studio. We'll let you know when we need you again.
Right.
Here go your plate of biscuits, for the next round. But man, we got another sad story here, y'all. We got another sad story here that we gotta talk about, y'all. I know my sister Nicety got a lot to say about this, right?
Yeah.
So y'all heard about this dude, 55-year-old man who married his goddaughter. This is on what's the name of this ratchet website? MTO. What's the name of that?
I forget what it stands for, but it's an old one. Yeah.
Media Takeout.
Yeah.
World Star, whatever. It's the same thing. It's all the same thing. But yeah, check this out, y'all. For those of y'all who haven't seen it, I know a lot of y'all seen it. This went viral on social media. Let me turn the volume on.
She looks like a child. Ain't nobody there.
I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna be done with this shit and let y'all little ignorant ass, no class assholes talk after this shit. Me and my husband, we're married. Me and my husband ain't going nowhere. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't give two fucks at that, not even one, about y'all opinions. Y'all on here talking about, I'm just stating my opinion. I'm just stating my opinion. I'm just stating. It don't mean shit to us. So why the fuck waste your time and energy and your motherfucking time out of the day and your life to sit up here and keep on saying it that's your opinion. We don't care. At the end of the day, everything is done. We're legally motherfucking married. I'm 18. I'm grown now. Talking about, you just a baby. I'm 18, bitches. I moved out my mama house when I was 16. 16. 16.
Ooh.
Fucking 16. What did I do? Get a job. Pregnant and all, working. Pregnant. Fucking working. At 16 with no motherfucking body. I ain't had nobody. My mama was a druggie. Nobody, never had nobody. I'm not saying this to show to have no sympathy or looking for sympathy. Nobody sympathizing with me. This is not what it's for. I'm just letting y'all know that I don't give a fuck about y'all opinions. It don't mean shit to me. It don't, because at the end of the day, everybody have a life to live. Okay, so what? He's 46, not 50. Thank you. He's 46. 50. Half of y'all motherfucking mammies he probably fucked half.
You want me to stop it somewhere?
I'm good. She said a mouthful.
Okay, all right. Yeah, man, oh man, it's sad.
She said a mouthful, but she actually gave us a little backstory. So a lot of what she said to me explains why he was able to get her. You have a mother who, if she was on drugs, wasn't present, right? Because she was busy doing her thing. It sounds like there was no father in the home. Um, it also sounds like this guy, because I also saw photos of him holding her when she was probably like 5 years old. So he was, probably someone that came around, helped out a bit, and it sounds like he was also grooming her. She said that she was pregnant at 16. By who? Was it by him?
Mm-hmm.
Was it by someone else?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's
Mm-hmm.
some missing pieces, but I also understand this girl has been looking for love. She has never had a mother that was present. Again, it sounds like father wasn't there, and this person became a father figure. Who does a female child fall in love with first?
Her dad.
The father. And not on those, sexual stuff, but again, so he was all of those things to her. But he was doing it to groom her into being with him. He was sick, because if she was your goddaughter, you only looked at her as a daughter, never in a sexual manner to me.
For real, man. For real. And that's the part
Mhm.
that's the part that really kills it, because you see stuff like this. Unfortunately, it does go
Yeah.
on in the community. It does go on in the neighborhoods where older dudes messing with these young girls, and some of these young girls who've been through similar upbringings as her, they do grow up fast. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? They are a little advanced mentally. Their bodies
Mhm.
are advanced as well. You know what I'm saying? And you do have dudes that mess with some of these young girls. But the fact that this was your goddaughter, somebody that you raised, that you knew
You
since
crossed the
was a
line.
baby, how can you see her in any other way?
Other than that, and
How
he
can
knew
you?
her story. He knew her story, so he took advantage of that, and it just makes me wonder at what point did he start messing around with her? Was she
Yeah.
underage when it first happened? Because she just 18. Mm,
And
you
y'all
know,
married. And y'all
now
married. So
married.
it's so this ain't new.
Mm-mm.
This ain't new. You know what I'm
No, they
saying?
sound
And
very
what
familiar with one another.
are they in Florida?
I don't know. I don't know what state they're in, but it just screams weird. He's pedophile. This
Absolutely.
girl is being controlled still. And I think a part of her, he offers her some type of security. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and again, that father figure that she never had. And I think more than anything, that may be what she's in love with. More than anything, she's in love with the security, the attention that he gives her, that that may be positive, right? She still does not understand that he is a creep. She don't
Yes.
know
Again, because a good pedophile makes you feel good.
that. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you could say it that way when I say a good pedophile, but I'm
Yeah,
just saying
no,
somebody who actually,
that's grooming
uh,
you,
yeah, when they're grooming you, they make you feel good,
right? Mhm.
sexually, emotionally,
All that.
all of those things. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's the reason why you kind of trust them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you feel that what's going on between you and this person as the young person, you think what's going on between you and this person is totally appropriate, because this is your mentor, this is your guide, this is the
Mhm.
person that's teaching you right from wrong.
Right.
So if they're saying it's okay, fuck what everybody else is saying.
And not only that, he brought me some food. He brought me some clothes for my mama, and some food to the house because my mama had smoked up all the money, right? So
Mm-hmm.
all of those things, and also that feel good part. I was looking at Iyala one time, and she was talking about the sexual abuse that she suffered from her uncle, and from the beginning, she always knew that it was wrong. Told her family, of course, they didn't believe her or whatever, and he kept doing it for years. And she said the crazy part is the sex became good, unfortunately. So because her family one didn't believe her and take her side, and check him, and then he's still doing it. Now your body it starts to feel good. So
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, she started to look forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing
Mm-hmm.
wrong with her, but he's aroused something, in her body that was going to happen eventually anyway. And he's the only man touching her and doing these things, to her at the time. Even Oprah talked about that, because she was pregnant, by an uncle, I believe at 14. Same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It became enjoyable, even though
And
you know that it's wrong.
think about, especially if you're a person like me who lost your virginity at a young age. Think about the person that you lost your virginity to. Think about the
Right.
soul tie, how long you
Mhm.
have feelings for that person. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if your groomer, your predator is that person that you had your first sexual experience with, yeah, you have that soul tie with that person. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And so that's why it's so hard for someone to get over that when they do finally come of age and realize that they were violated and realize that what was taking
Yeah.
place was wrong. It's a mind fuck for that person. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel for the young lady, man. I
Me too.
don't judge her. I don't judge her
No,
at all.
no, not
It's
at
totally
all.
on him. It's totally
Mhm.
on him. She's in
And then
survival mode.
100 for that right there. She's
You know what I'm
surviving.
saying?
She's
She's in
surviving.
survival mode. She was abandoned as a child by her
Mhm.
mother. Obviously, she said nothing about her father. Obviously, there was no man around for this type of
No
shit to take
man.
place. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So this is an abandoned child who was rescued by her predator. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's Stockholm syndrome and all of that shit
All
in
that
play.
stuff.
I ain't no psychologist or nothing, but
But you read enough to understand where it's coming from, for her. And one day she will realize that he's a predator, and he had been preying on her and grooming her since he came into her life. He knew what he was going to do a long time ago, and because her family was so comfortable, and again, she probably came from a family that didn't have much. Whoever raised her, whomever she was at home with, because it doesn't sound like mom was, present that often, because there's photos of him. So they allowed this man to pick her up, take her to the store, take her to go take photos, probably to amusement parks. This man got comfortable a long time, and he probably was doing things to her,
little by
and
little.
little by little, and I'm surprised that no one noticed it. Who didn't
I
notice
mean,
it?
you busy smoking crack. You busy hitting the pipe.
I'm saying the
And,
aunties, the
a
grandmas.
lot of a lot of we grew up in that crack era. You
Yeah,
had crackheads was selling their daughters and tricking their daughters off. You know what
man.
I'm saying, to get a hit.
And again, I
So
was going to bring that up that you said that, and it made me wonder, was that part of the situation too? Did mom actually, and again, because he was a nice person to her, and once he started it and started bringing her teddy bears and dolls for Christmas and all that stuff, she developed a sense of security in her predator.
mm-hmm. And the thing is, right? So she said, he said she might see things clearer down the line, like we were saying.
She did.
And my thing is, she said she was pregnant at 16, so she has a 2-year-old, or like a
Mm-hmm.
1.5-year-old. Now, what if that's a little girl?
Mm-hmm.
And what if this man starts to groom her daughter the same way? If she that might be his daughter, as far as we know. But say that
Right.
is say that is a baby that she had by another young man. You know what I'm saying? Somebody her own age or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But say this man starts to, when she starts getting
Mhm.
older and he's still around, his old creep self
Right.
is looking at the daughter a certain way now. You know what I'm saying?
It just makes this story reads that he was obviously dating her before she was of age, because you're just 18 years old. Y'all got married. So as soon as you turn 18, y'all just started dating at 18 and got married 3, 6 months later. Like, I don't believe that.
Yeah, nah.
Something is just, there's still some missing links here, and again, a part of her is going to protect him from that, because she understands what type of ridicule is going to come with that. So she's going to protect that information.
Right, right. Now, this kind of segues into this other thing that I wanted to touch on a little bit, right? Because we're talking about this dysfunctional shit, right? And certain familial situations that take place in Black society, but sometimes other people from outside of our community, they like to perpetuate these type of stories and exaggerate these type of stories to make it seem like there's something innately wrong with our community and we're just innately dysfunctional in this way. And so somebody has shared this book with me, y'all. And the name of the book was called, hold on. The name of this book was called, one second, y'all. 1 second. In the meantime, hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button, all of that good stuff. Where's viewer one at? Okay, viewer one shared this thing with me a couple of days ago. And there's an author out there named Quan Mills. Quan Mills is this novelist of these ratchet ass stories.
Right.
And allegedly, word on these internet streets is that this Quan Mills person is non-black.
Right.
And I can't find the cover of it, but the name of the book was "I'm Pregnant by My Granddaddy's Boyfriend."
Let me see if I can find it.
If y'all could decipher that right there, "I'm Pregnant by My Granddaddy's Boyfriend" was the name of this book, and apparently, this person has a bunch of these damn books. You got it?
I'm about to text it to you.
All right, yeah, send me that real quick. Send me that real quick. But I'm gonna show y'all these though, so y'all can see some of the other titles that he got. Y'all can see some of the other titles that he got out there too. Now, I'm not sure because when I look this person up, there's not too much information about who Quan Mills is, but apparently he likes to project his dysfunction onto
Black society.
Now, I don't know who the audience is who reads these type of books, y'all. But look, My Psycho Baby Daddy. Now, everybody, it's all black people on the covers of these books.
All of them.
The Old Thought Next Door. We got The Old Thought Next Door. We got This Hoe Got Roaches in Her Crib. The Old Thought Part 2. Project Ho's Dreams. The Coldest Thug Ever. Oh, there's a whole bunch of Project Ho's Dreams. That got a bunch of parts to it. My Baby Mama Is a Loser. My Pastor Got a Stripper Pregnant. Games Hoes Love to Play. These who's reading these books?
I told you who I think. I believe black people.
Black people reading this shit?
Black people are gonna gravitate, to these ratchet, novel, just like the Zane books back in the days, right? Not that, it was ratchet, but it was very sexually explicit, and I have about 5 or 6 of them.
I think the Zane books wasn't that bad though, man. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Jerome Dickey, Eric Jerome Dickey, he's another one that does like those black, books. That's Eric Jerome Dickey. That's another one.
That name sounds familiar. Yeah. I don't remember what he wrote, but that name sounds familiar. Oh man, I just saw that and I found that kind of interesting, y'all. Like, I'm like, who? That was my first question. That was my first thought. Like, who's reading this shit? Because he got a bunch of them. So apparently they selling.
Right.
Right. And my man said white people be writing those books. That's what I heard.
Right.
That's what I heard. I heard Quan Mills is a white person.
I'm trying my best to find something if I can.
I was about to say, if anybody got receipts on that, please let us know who Quan Mills is. Girls in high school love Zane, Jackson said. I remember both authors. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But this is different. This is next level ratchet shit right here. I said, come on. Nobody black cannot be writing this unless it's like a Lee Daniels type of nigga. Right. Lee Daniels like to do shit like that. Like just be extra over the top with the incestuous, if I'm using the right word.
Yeah, it's just gutter. With our faces on it. Right? Again, with our faces on it.
Yeah, I agree. Zane wasn't really like that. It was just erotic and sexual.
Yeah.
And so it appeals to our lower self. It appeals to our lower chakras, of course. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't this, because this is really dangerous propaganda.
Yes. And
this
it
is
looks
dangerous
like there's
propaganda.
a full library of this crap. A full lot. And I would like to see what his sales were like. You know, was he on, top 10? Like, seriously.
Yeah, I wonder, because to keep writing the books, that must mean you're making some money off of it.
You're making some money.
You ain't gonna keep doing it if you ain't making no money.
This is wild. This is wild.
Yeah. So yeah, I just thought that was interesting, man. I wanted to point that out to the family, man, just in case, be careful of what your babies is reading out here, man. You know what I'm saying? some of our babies like to read. They might go up in Barnes and Noble and say, "Oh, what's this?" That's, you know what I mean?
And they don't even need to go there again, because when you go on there, when I put the title of the book, it instantly gave me an option for the PDF.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So the internet, again, kids are not dumb. They know how to work it better than us. How many of us, go get our kids to help us sometimes with these phones and the internet? They know way more than we give them credit for.
No, I wasn't having that. I had to get sharper than them. That was my goal. That was my goal, and I think I accomplished it. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here in these internet streets, in these digital streets. I'm out here. Kids ain't gonna have that one on me, because we're the first generation of parents who've had to deal with social media, right? And the internet and all that. Our parents didn't have to worry about that. It was just peer pressure, you know what I'm saying? Whatever was going on in the neighborhood, rumors at school and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But now, with so much access to the whole world, we're the first generation of parents who have to navigate this new territory online, this cyber territory, and figure out, in real time, what type of effect is this having on my baby? How much is too much? Where should I set the boundaries at? You know what I'm saying? And it started with me because, and I ain't trying to throw my baby moms under the bus, but we just be on different pages a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? And so she got my son a phone when he was like 9 years old. I ain't want him to have a phone. I wasn't going to buy him no phone, but he got his first phone when he was like 9 years old or something. And he was immediately online. Only rule he had was, I think you couldn't bring it to school. We couldn't bring it to class, but there was no actual boundary set. There was no parental locks on the phone. You're not allowed to have certain social media sites or whatever the case may be. It was just here goes your phone. And it wasn't long. It was a couple of weeks after he first got the phone when he came to my house, and I went through it because I'm that dad. I'm that person.
I need to see.
And this little Negro was texting a grown woman on the Kick app. Grown women sending him brawn panty pictures and stuff.
No.
I'm serious. And this little Negro going back and forth talking that talk.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh man.
Got a little game. Oh my God. I would have. Oh yeah, that would scare me.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, that's what really made me say no. I need to understand this stuff in order to know, you know what I'm saying, how to help them through this. Because obviously, especially with me and her not being on the same page, and you know what I mean, I knew that I was going to have certain information to help them decipher what they're experiencing. You know what I'm saying?
And also because, they can be lured into a sex trafficking situation. Kids are still sexual. And again, he don't necessarily know who that really is behind that cell phone. That could have been a man.
Exactly.
Yeah, luring him in, thinking, oh, now I got him, a little hot in the little draws, and he think he's gonna meet him a grown woman that's gonna make him a man, and something else happens, So yeah, you're right. We got to be very careful. When my daughter got her phone again, she was 10. My daughter's 26. She had an old chirp.
But it wasn't no social media yet, though.
Yeah,
it wasn't a smartphone.
Yeah, it wasn't no smartphone. So when it came to my son, that was different. He got his first cell phone when he was 12. And again, still no, it was an old phone.
But I know you was. But I know you was monitoring it and seeing who.
I can go now And I do go now. Let me see your phone. It ain't no why. For what? It's just here.
There you go.
Ain't
Exactly.
no, I need to see what's going on. No.
This is a good point right here too, Jackson. Every area of human activity is being flooded with content to work against Black people. I, w-
1000%.
I was listening to a brother, and I can't remember his name, but our brother Dwan B did an interview recently with this brother who talks about hip hop, the history of hip hop, and the metaphysics of hip hop, and all of this stuff. Real deep conversation they was having, and he was talking about Nellie Fuller and Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, and how they talk about white supremacy dominates all areas of people activity. And you have labor, law, economics, politics, education. What else am I missing? War, sex.
Everything.
The 9 areas, right? But
Everything.
the 10th area that he added to it was technology. He updated it, with respect to the elders. He said, I'll add on there technology. You know what I'm saying? And so you're absolutely right, Jackson Harlem, because we dealing with this whole cyber age, and everything being digital, and they're weaponizing that as well. So we got to be on point out here, family.
It's crazy because even when you say, digital, a lot of my son's classes, they don't have books. Everything is digital, digital. They gave them Chromebooks. So everything is, on these Chromebooks. Now, some classes have books, but majority of them do not.
And I'll give credit to the school out here, because they have Chromebooks as well, but it's super secure. You know what I'm saying? The kids can't just do anything on the Chromebook. They can't just go to any website. Like everything, like the device knows that this is a school-based activity, and they can't really do anything outside of that. So I do give them props for that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I'll be on it. I'm like, wait a minute, Chromebook, fine. You know what I'm saying?
Which that came out during the pandemic. They didn't have them before, but the pandemic and the kids being homeschooled, they were forced basically to give them those devices. But they kept them, although they're in school now, they're still using those devices. But you're right. They put a security block on certain websites, etc.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So y'all, we've been here 2 hours with y'all, man. This was a good show. I like this broadcast right here. You know what I'm saying?
When we just flow. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's fun when it just flows and it's conversational, and we love to see the feedback from the family, engaging in the conversation, because that's what this is all about.
Yeah, man. Hopefully y'all got some good value out of this. Make sure you like it, share it, tell a friend to tell a friend, have a little watch party, on Sunday with us. Invite your people over and come chop it up with us, man. You know what I'm saying? And again, we want y'all to look out this week. We have 2 back-to-back shows for our Black Business Showcase. So on Wednesday, go ahead. I'll let you let them know what we got coming.
On Wednesday, we have Professor Zahelia from Long Beach, California. She has Raw Life Defense. So she teaches martial arts, jiu-jitsu. And also on Thursday, we're going to have Karan Joseph Riley, ex-NFL player and actor, on the Black Business Showcase. So we're going to hit y'all with a double hitter, back-to-back Wednesday and Thursday. Make sure you guys tap in and join us. The link is definitely in my bio. I know it's in his bio. So, we're already ready for y'all. And of course, we'll be posting on it. If you guys know any Black businesses that need, to get on this platform, that can benefit from the platform, please let us know. Shoot them our way. I have family members that have texted me some right now, so I have to reach out to some new businesses actually this week to get them on the show. So definitely word of mouth. Let them know that we're here to give them, a platform to talk about what it is that they do, what they offer. So make sure you guys tell a friend.
Absolutely. And shout out to Mama Love. She's just coming into the chat right now, man. She says she's been down with a headache all day. Shout out to my moms, man. My whole life, she gets these real bad migraine headaches, man.
Wow.
I hate when she goes through that. So I hope you feel better, Mom. You know what I'm saying?
You love and light.
get you some rest. And, you know, I know it ain't much you could do when you're dealing with that, but, you know, like I said, I hope you feel better. I love you, Mom. We had a good discussion tonight, so make sure you catch the replay.
Absolutely.
All right. Appreciate you, Cuzzo, for chopping it up with us tonight.
Yes, thank you so much for supporting Cuzzo. Oh,
Absolutely.
and my cousin is out there where you at, so maybe she, you know, if little John need his haircut.
I'm in Gwinnett County, Cuzzo, so I don't know what part you at.
Yeah.
I'm in Gwinnett County. The barbershop I work at is in Lawrenceville. So yeah, if you in the area, definitely hit me up. Slide in my DMs, and I'll make sure you got the right information, and we'll get nephew taken care of. Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. You know, I work by appointment schedule Monday through Saturday. Only day I'm off is Sunday, today, when I'm here with you.
Right.
All right. So yeah, again, this has been a great conversation. We're gonna get up out of here. Let y'all go continue on with y'all Sunday. I think my son is probably still running around. He need to be in the bed. I gotta go put his little butt to bed so he can get ready for the bus in the morning. So again, make sure you're following us on social media.
Yes.
I'm at Sincere Love to God on all social media platforms. And you?
NYCTEEGURL 1 on Instagram, and the other ones just take the one off. nyctegur.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, again, this has been another great episode of Sincere Love to God cast. We appreciate y'all tuning in with us. And remember, we are not the master teachers. We are only the master students and signal boosters for the voices of the new Black media.
All right. And make sure you tune in next week for another great episode as we take you all Black to the future. Wednesday, Thursday, back to back, y'all. And of course, we will be here on our regular Sundays as well. But next week, we're hitting y'all with back to back with the Black Business Showcase. Again, thank you all for joining us tonight, and we will see you guys on Wednesday.
Peace.
Peace.
Yeah.